And as that situation unfolds, state lawmakers are pledging to protect immigrants in Colorado.
Lawmakers plan to introduce legislation they hope will calm fears in the immigrant community. But as Denver 7's Brandon Richards shows us, it's still a work in progress.
Well, this is something we've been asking about over and over for the past couple of months. How exactly do Colorado state lawmakers plan to protect immigrants, as many of them say they want to do, during the second Trump administration? Well, it appears we are getting closer to an answer.
But let's talk about the reality of what we're seeing in this country.
On Tuesday, the Democratic Latino Caucus unveiled their top priorities for the 2025 legislative session. They're pushing 16 bills, 14 of which have already been introduced. They say the bills will lower costs and raise wages for Coloradans, protect the environment, and make Colorado safer for everyone, including immigrants.
Our communities are under attack, and we hear from our constituents that are living in fear.
Behind the scenes, lawmakers have been wrestling with how to respond to the Trump administration's immigration enforcement efforts, which have included arresting and deporting undocumented immigrants in Colorado.
There is tremendous work for us to do here in Colorado in order to ensure that we are protecting every Coloradan's civil rights.
State Senator Julie Gonzalez says lawmakers are working with the governor's office on a bill that would provide more protections to immigrants.
We want to protect people's personal identifying information and their quality of life.
Beyond that, she wouldn't provide any specifics. State Representative Carlos Barron, a Republican from Fort Lupton, has been critical of how he says Democrats have portrayed Latinos and immigrants.
We don't want to be victims. We're not. We can do everything. We have the same opportunities that everybody else in this country has.
He says while he supports streamlining the immigration process, he wouldn't support the state doing anything that would interfere with the federal government's immigration enforcement efforts.
The state has no jurisdiction on immigration. We should not be getting involved in immigration. It is the law of the land.
Immigration is not something state lawmakers usually spend a lot of time on, but it's become a priority this year, and one we'll keep a close eye on throughout the session. At the Capitol, Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
And some Colorado Republicans have been working on their own immigration bill, but it didn't get far. This bill would have allowed local law enforcement to work with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, contrary to current state law. That one died in committee last month. Now, about the same time as that, Colorado Congressman Gabe Evans introduced his first bill targeting Colorado's immigration laws.
And it really does exactly what it says, which is making sure that our state and local law enforcement is empowered and uplifted to be able to work with their federal counterparts to be able to get folks who are committing crimes in our community and who are illegally present out of our communities.
In addition to that legislation, Representatives Evans, Lauren Boebert, and Jeff Crank sent a letter to Governor Polis asking him to direct lawmakers to repeal laws meant to protect immigrants from being detained and deported.